Hello everyone, this is Harris from PKF Smith Cooper, and welcome back to another video on Sage Intacct. Today we're going to be looking at dashboards and how we can use and leverage dashboards to give us more insight on our business activities in the Sage Intacct financial system. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to explore some of our reports that we've created and how we can get these onto our dashboard. So on my financial reports screen, I can see that I've got a few reports set up here, namely ones that I've created from scratch, or maybe it could even be ones that are existing in the system and have come out of the box. For the moment, I'm going to focus more on the ones that I've created bespoke, just because they will present themselves better on my dashboard because it's more in line with what I want my business to be able to see. I'm going to navigate to Applications and Dashboards and click on the Dashboards link here. Once I'm in my dashboards, I can go and create a new one, or I can edit one of the existing ones. Now, these ones are out of the box dashboards, so we'll typically already have components in them. My recommendation is that you start from scratch, and once you've got a dashboard that is working for you, you can duplicate that dashboard to create further dashboards. Click on Create. Give your dashboard a title. Let's just call this one Harris's Dashboard. Choose how many columns you want to have on your dashboard. The default is 2, but you can have up to 3 columns. Flexible width. If you want to be able to change the width of your columns on the dashboard, you can choose whether you want the left, the middle, or the right, or all of them. In this case, I will leave it to all. And the background color of your dashboard. So there is a few standard colors here, or you can choose from a custom color. And if you want to assign your dashboard into a group, so we can have a group of dashboards, then you can create a new group from here or choose from an existing one. There is a default checkbox here as well, so that if you want this dashboard to become the default dashboard, so that everybody can view it across the business in terms of users on the system, then you can tick the box for default. Then you come into the filters tab. You can choose up to 3 filters on a dashboard. As of date is one that is typically always selected, followed by any other dimensional value that you might want to analyze your data by. So I'm going to click, in this case, study code and department. I've only got the one entity, so I'm not really worried about location at this moment in time. Then in terms of permissions, you can choose who can access this dashboard. So at the moment, my access rights are set to deny everybody. However, I can change that to allow everybody, or I can choose from specific users or user groups. Once I'm happy with my dashboard configuration, I can go ahead and save the dashboard. Once I've saved my dashboard, I will see it appearing in the dashboard list. And from there, I can now go and add components to my dashboard. Click on Components, and I will see a blank screen. That's because I don't have anything yet in my dashboard. However, I can see my 3 filters, which I selected upon creation of the dashboard, and I can see some options here on where I can go next. I'm going to click the plus icon to add a component, and what I want to do is add in a financial report. So I will filter my component type to report, choose my report source. So by default, it's set to financial report, but you can also choose a memorized report. Now, memorized reports are effectively maybe some standard reports that you've filtered and memorized to save your filters down, or it can be a custom report that you've memorized with certain filters on there as well. I'm going to click on financial report in this instance. I don't need to select a report type or audience at this stage because I don't have any set up, but then I can go into my component section and I can choose which report I want to see on my dashboard. Now I'm going to go for the balance sheet detail report, and I can change the title of the report. So I'm going to change the component just to say balance sheet detail, and I want my report to be a live view. That just means that every time the system updates, the balance sheet on the dashboard will also update. If I select snapshot, then it's only going to show me the balance sheet data as of a specific point in time, i.e. right now, today, that's the data that I'll see, and the dashboard will not update that report for me. Do we want to allow dashboard filtering? So those 3 filters that I've got at the top of my dashboard, do I want them to be able to affect my balance sheet report? Well, yes, I do, but in some cases I can prevent that as well. I'm going to click Save, and I will see my balance sheet starting to load up on my dashboard. And there you can see I've got some good data in there where I can go through and have a look at all of my numbers. The benefit of doing this as well is the fact that you can actually still drill down into the figures even from the dashboard. So if I wanted to see my Barclays bank account and what was going on in there, I can click on my current year to date as of today, click on the number. That will then bring up the general ledger report for that bank account, which will show me what my bank balance is as of today. And if I wanted to view that in more detail, I can customize the GL report to go back and see the individual transactions that make up this bank balance. Now that I've got one report in here, I can go and add in a few more. I'm going to go and add in another financial report. However, this time I want a profit and loss actual versus budget. And same again, I'm going to remove the number from the component title, and I do want to have a live view and I want to allow dashboard filtering. Click save. That will then bring my P&L onto the dashboard. And because I've got 3 columns on my dashboard, I can actually pick up this component and move it into the next column, or I can move it into the 3rd column, just like that. And same again, I can see my P&L there with my actuals and my budget and my variance. Because this is a test environment, there isn't a whole lot of data in here, but hopefully the general idea makes sense. Once you've got some reports in your dashboard, you can then go in and add in some other components, such as performance cards. Now, performance cards are typically what we class as maybe key performance indicators, things like total assets, total liabilities, bank balance, that sort of thing, are all things that you can get to display on a dashboard. You can also display non-financial data, such as employee headcount. So if you had that available in your system and set up, you can also display that as a component on your dashboard. For the moment, I'm going to display something called cash balance. And from my account groups, which are what comprise my reports from, I'm going to choose cash and cash equivalents. I want to see the reporting period as of current month, and I do want to see the amount as an amount with a currency, rounded up in a whole number, and I want to be able to compare to my prior period, as well as showing the percentage change. Once I'm happy with that, I can go ahead and click save. My performance card will naturally sit in the dashboard header, and I'll see there my cash balance this month. Because again, it's a test environment, there is no change versus the prior month. I can then go in and add in some more components. Maybe I wanted to add in a statistical account. Let's see if I've got one. Add in one for headcount. And again, this one is just going to be a number, not an amount with currency. And click save. And if I did have any employee headcount recorded in the system, that number would be updating. Aside from adding in key performance indicators and financial reports, you can also add in things like a list of suppliers, a closed through summary to see which books are closed for which modules across which entities. So let's add in one of those. I will go into my general component type and choose the component closed through summary. And I want to see it by entity. Click save. And I can see here on my closed through summary for my 4 main modules that I've got set up in this specific environment. I've got general ledger. The last time a close was performed was the 30th of November 2024, and it turns out that that is consistent across all the modules. Okay, so a nice bit of oversight there over which modules are closed across which entities. You can also add in links to websites external from Intacct. So let's just say I wanted to call this a link to our website. I will put in a component title there, and I'll put in my link name. So let's just say it is PKF Smith Cooper Systems, and then I can put in our website URL and click save. That will then create a little tab, and if I click on that, you'll see that it actually opens up our web page. Then you have additional bits of things that you can add in a dashboard, such as a calendar, as you can see there. And you can also add in things like your approvals checklist. So if you are an approver or if you're an employee user on Intacct and you want to see what transactions you have got waiting for you to approve, you can actually add them into the dashboard as well. Alternatively, you can add in things like supplier records, so invoices, maybe a list of top 10 balances for suppliers or customers, and you can also add in graphs as well. So not only do we have financial reports, we can also have financial graphs as well. So we added an AP trend, and we can see there the graph pulling through onto the report. This has been a quick video on how to utilize and leverage dashboards for further financial insight into your business. Thank you very much for watching.